On the stream. We're going to be following these 4 runners. There are many others in the race. I counted about 20 when I first looked, and we're underway. And starting off in Link's house, we have a heart container. Ravis immediately saving and quitting, and going to likely go to the sanctuary and see what's up there. So we're going to get that information right away as well. We had a map check. I missed it, though.
Well, we got a red pendant sitting in Desert Palace. We know that's going to be required right off the bat.
So immediately we're looking for the book or possibly flute to make our way there with the mirror. Flute and mirror, I guess is the best way to put it. We would need a Titan's bit for that backdoor entry, though. So the more simple method that we're looking for is the book today to open that up.
That's right. And we're going to need a fire source, and potentially we'll need to see some boots if it ends up being boots locked.
By the way, we have $300 in the sanctuary as the item up there today.
That's right, and our uncle gives us a little piece of his heart, telling us good luck on our adventure.
Oh, there's the red boomerang for those who like that item. And some bombs in the back of in the uncle's chest.
It never hurts to find a pack of bombs this early on. You know you're going to need them.
Yeah, there's still a lot of places that need bombs, so we are worried about those bomb holes. Okay, so let's see. We are currently sending 2 runners to the Lost Woods area. GFE seems to be heading in the same direction. Ravis is doing his map check, getting the red pendant information.
Yes, and I'm seeing now that there's a red crystal on Tower of Hera. In case the Fat Fairy happens to have anything we need on her, that may come in useful information.
Yeah, even though the things we want to get are the pendants, we could end up having to do everything normally in the same convoluted fashion just to get to the pendant dungeon. Very often we've done a regular seed. And what was that on the lumberjack list? Was that a bow?
It was gone so fast I didn't even see it. I was trying to.
Trying to get another look at it. It was a bow. It did look like a bow. Oh my.
Now, the odds of that being required are actually very good. If Palace of Darkness ends up being one of our pedestal or one of our pendants.
Yeah, if Palace of Darkness is a pendant, this is an Aghanim seed. Even so, the bow is a nice to have, but in a seed like this, it's not very common. You're going to worry about that unless you have a case where you have to do all the dungeons. Then there's the flute, by the way. So there's one of our items for backdoor entry. Now we need about 3 or 4 more. And the last item is the Swagna, so at least we can defeat Aghanim if we need him. Of course, that's the joke related to the net, of course. We still need the sword to get back there anyway, and many runners will just use spin slashes anyway. Ravis in the well. Boon Pearl in the well. And that was in the the area you have to bomb to get that chest. That was the chest back there that the Moon Pearl was located in.
Yeah, so far all of our runners are pretty much doing the checks that the others are doing, kind of out of order, but everybody's going to be ending up converging heading south out of Kakariko Village.
Yes, everyone has their favorite preferred way to do the same initial series of checks. Some will even put off a certain set of checks until later on because they have their preferred routing for such checks. But in the end, they all do converge. We are having a couple flute playings already. While we're not hearing it yet, Swagna Airlines is now open for business. Please call 555-DUCK to book your flights. Disclaimer, number does not work. Please do not call.
About to hear our national anthem played.
And GFE is also getting the playing of the fluty tune right now, and all 4 runners will have early duck access for all their flights, sub 5 minutes.
Did you know that the swag duck will give you 5 rupees every time you call him, but he asks that you put it on his bill?
I don't even know how to answer that. Anyway. So GFE checking the chicken hut right now. We have, I didn't catch what was in the library. 2 runners just checked it. And Ravis is going to be the first runner, I believe, to look into the dam today and flood the dam.
And Chloe is dodging that swag duck, deciding they're going to pick up that Quake medallion right away.
Yeah, he was ready to fly off and then realized he better get that Quake medallion just in case for some reason Misery Myra and Turtle Rock are pendants and it's needed. Yeah, until we get to the Dark World and actually know what the pendant dungeons are, we're not going to know whether we even need any of those medallions. It's possible in these kind of cases to have a no medallion seed, but needless to say, they're going to pick up medallions until they know for sure they don't need them.
Yeah, especially in such an out-of-way location. You hope to never have to come back to this specific spot.
Ravis taking care of mini Moldorm Cave, so it ain't because of those mini Moldorms. In the back we have, we're going to count the money, but there's a piece of heart, a full heart container, a power glove, and 10 sticks, and the first was 50 rupees. I was going to sum that up, but we only had the 1 rupee count.
Yep, Chloe going to check Agina's cave, get a quick check out of the way, one that many people might end up skipping for a while. If there's something important there, that may be a nice little lead.
Jeffy is also checking the dam right now. Dante is leaving. And there's a heart container in Agina. So Ravis going to the back of Escape. 3 items back here. We need a bomb, or the boots if you happen to have them, to push that wall out of the way. And the 3 chests back there are a burrito, a piece of heart, and some blueberry. And Dante's going to get his power glove. Chloe does transportation over to the Ice Rod Cave. Not very often you have the flute this early to be able to just fly over here, but he's getting to do that. And he may opt to fly back to the same spot after checking this cave, just to do a fake flipper if he wants to check Hobo at the same time.
Well, the Moon Pro gives a good opportunity for the fake flippering. I'm sure he may wait until he has more cash to also visit Zora, but he may not since he has the gloves.
Silver arrows in the Ice Rod Cave today. So we don't know yet if we're going to need those silver arrows on any of the bosses. I mean, we're not going to be fighting Ganon, so we don't need them for Ganon, that's for sure. But those may still be useful if a certain boss is a pendant dungeon, and there's the hook shot in Sasseral's closet.
Well, that opens up a lot more locations for them to start checking up on Death Mountain.
Yeah, a lot of things have just opened up. What I would like to do at this time, if we could, would be to get to the Dark World and just deduce what exactly we need. That way you can start planning for what items to pick up if there's something out in the open that you might otherwise need. You don't have to waste time getting it then. But I don't think we're going to be getting there quite yet, because even though we have the hook shot, we don't have the Titan's Mitt to lift the rocks on Death Mountain. We don't have a hammer to access some of the otherwise easy to lift things.
Ravis can step into the portal next to Spectacle Rock and just take a look if you just want some information.
That is true. Very good point. Yeah, I guess they all do have Dark World access just through the portal, but they won't have
some Titan's Mitts hanging out inside of Spectacle Rock.
Wow. Now, I don't know why he checked that, because the hint system is on. Wouldn't he go to read the hint anyway, or hints off in this mode?
I believe hints are on, but some people will still avoid them, especially this lengthy grab for if it turns out to be absolutely nothing but a hint.
I'm gonna stop you for a second. Dante just checked with Sahasrara and confirmed the Ice Palace is a green pendant. Apparently the hint tile didn't work. I didn't see anything for Ravis when he checked it.
Maybe it is turned off in Pedestal.
Maybe. We'll see if we get any other hint tile attempts, but if we don't see any other working hint tiles, maybe it's turned off in this mode. I find that kind of strange if that's the case, but oh well.
Raven's going to go and probably check Mire Shed and give us a map check in the Dark World, hopefully.
And Dante, finding his Titan's Myth's going to make his way around those. Let's see if he tries the hint tile just to see if we can confirm for sure. There's our map check. It's Turtle Rock that is the last pennant. We need a lot of items today.
Yes, and an ether to open up Misery Mire, should that ever become relevant.
Now, it may or may not. The thing we don't know, because there's so many items needed for Turtle Rock, this could be one of those seeds that I was talking about at the beginning, where you could have the Fire Rod, the Ice Rod, the Cane of Samaria. Well, maybe not the Cane of Samaria because that's crystal. But what else? Those are the two. Well, Skullwoods would be a crystal, so you would need to get to Ganon's Tower. The Ice Rod, though, is a good example of something that could be in Ganon's Tower, and or locked by something located, like a mushroom, located in Ganon's Tower. And that's a good case of something where you have to come back to Turtle Rock after you finish the 7 crystals. This could be a long one coming up.
And chat is saying that Dante got a hint. I wasn't actually looking at his screen at that moment, but
I must have missed
it. We're working on.
So I'm not sure if Ravis just decided not to check the hint because he doesn't like that, or what happens. What happened there? GFE fluting to the desert, not with the Titan's Mitt yet, so he can't lift the rock. But he is going to go check Agina. Ravis will give us another... Actually, no, Ravis got the old man. He already checked the hint towel. So Chloe seems to be doing the old man in the dark. Probably will also get to Spectacle Rock very shortly. And we'll see what's... he should get his Titan's Mitt up there very shortly.
Dante, unfortunately, saving and quitting without his bombs to blow open the holes in Paradox Cave, not realizing directly beneath him is a shop that sells bombs.
Oh. And he does have plenty of money for that as well, so he could have easily bought those bombs. And there's that shop that you were talking about, Dante. Just, or is that a different shop?
That is the one by Lake.
Yeah, yeah, that's the Lake Hylia shop, and he decides to not take the duck flight. Now he takes the duck flight. He wanted to check the item on the island. I missed it. I'm going to try and check.
It was a sword upgrade. The first one we've seen so far.
Interesting.
Yeah, in terms of actual weapons to use to kill enemies, it's pretty slim pickings for our runner so far.
There's that Ice Palace hint again for GFE this time. And let's see if Chloe reads the hint. Some cash needs fire in Tower of Hera. Okay, no coffee break.
Ravis picks up a shovel. We may see that fetch quest completed pretty early on.
For shovelry!
Yeah, a lot of people don't like these fetch quests, but you know what? I can dig it.
Yeah, I was waiting for you to say that. So, Ravis goes to the sick kid, and, I can see why he's sick. He, coughing up a piece of his heart.
You think he'd want to hang on to that or something?
Yeah, yeah. Maybe there was a problem with that piece of heart or something. And Ravis going to Dark World through... He has Dark World access. Where? He has the hammer? Where was
Oh,
the
I did-
hammer? I completely
I
missed.
missed him picking it up entirely.
Must be in, maybe it's in Paradox Cave. We might see it on Clove Power right now. Either that or it was Super Bunny Cave. I think I saw him in Super Bunny Cave. There's Bombos. We are getting Hype Cave meanwhile, so Piece of Heart to start off Hype Cave. And there's Ether as well, by the way, in Paradox Cave. So you have Blue Mail and some arrows, a full heart container. Boss Godfrey, rate that Hype Cave.
You know, I like the blue mail upgrade. I'm going to rate it a 4 out of 10.
Yeah.
Just because.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, it's okay.
But yeah, that's about what I would give it to. 3 or 4. So Ravis is heading over to Stumpy right now. Clove Power is going to check Spiral Cave. And trying to see... I'm going to keep an eye on... Yeah, apparently it was Super Bunny, according to something I see in chat here. So it looks like Super Bunny might have been where the hammer was. I think I overlooked that when I was trying to check what was on the island on the other screen. So Spiral Cave is where Chloe is, and Chloe finds some sticks. And GFE is the final one of our 4 runners on the mainstream to on the restream to get the Titans map. So all 4 runners on the restream now have.
Something to think about is that Ravis is 1 item away from being able to go into Ice Palace. Even though the logic wants him to have the flippers, if he finds a fire source, either the Bombos tab or medallion or the fire rod, he'll be able to go in and complete it now that he has the hammer.
We are going to get our look at Super Bunny Cave where Chloe is right now. So this should be where the hammer is, from what chat is saying. GFE is heading up to Dark Death Mountain right now. May do the Dark Side Death Mountain. Well, not yet. He's checking the items first. Rave has taken Jeremiah on a world tour. Well, at least a Village of Outcasts tour. There's a big 20, so this should be the hammer. GFE checking the rest of Paradox Cave. We did find the other 2 of our medallions up here, so all 3 medallions already in play. No matter what, we're going to be able to get into Turtle Rock. It's just a matter of, are we going to find all the other items outside of Ganon's Tower and able to run our way there very quickly, or are we going to be waiting a while to get there? And there's some blueberries there in Village of Outcasts. That was in the so-called brewery. Not sure why it's called the brewery. Probably just because of the barrel, the beer barrel that's located in the house.
I think it's because it takes some hops to get down there.
Maybe. GFE now doing Spiral Cave. That was just where some sticks were. Ravis taking the frog for a journey now.
Well, I think the frog's gonna get to go home pretty quick, finding the mirror right there in Sea Hut.
Yep. That'll take him home very quickly. Or he's just gonna take him... Oh yeah, that is the way. No, that's the way out. He's leaving.
He's gonna take him to a spooky graveyard and show him some ghosts.
I may have a mirror, but you're not going home yet, buddy. You're coming with me. You're gonna see more of this world you're in, because you know what? You don't get to see this very often.
You know, it's interesting that Ravis did not go all the way to Hookshot Cave, so he is missing several medallions that he may end up needing.
Possible that he may not be counting on Paradox Cave yet either. That's where they were. And GFE is our final runner to acquisition the hammer. Dante's on his way to Stumpy. Ravis is on his way to back to the Village of Outcasts. So let's see if he's done with Jeremiah yet.
And Chloe making his checks in Skull Woods. Nice and easy. Get him out of the way. Put that behind.
And yeah, Ravis has decided he's done with the frog and time to take care of him finally. So the dwarf gets to go home, and he's going to leave. He's going to go back in. He's going to be made aware of an item. He's going to get to buy an item for $10 here. And $10 today gets you the Cane of Berna. Brian, we have found your cane. Please check in to claim it at the Kakariko Village Lost and Found.
The magic cake can be dug up in the grove, but I think we already saw Cape or Bumper Cave Ledge, didn't we?
I did not catch what it was if we saw that, so hopefully we get another look at that here. And Jeffy now heading through the portal to the Swamp Palace area. I wonder if he's going to make a Swamp Palace play for some reason.
Well,
nope,
he doesn't have the boots for his Swamp Palace play, if that's what he's looking to do.
And he's just making a Hype Cave play, so he will get his blue mail. And yeah, he needs flippers for Swamp Palace anyway, so of course he can't do Swamp Palace yet. He might check the hint while he's here, though.
That is true. Hints can be super valuable. I'm waiting for one of our runners to go ahead and make the break and do Ice Palace with a fake flipper.
Dante getting his mirror, and I would be an advocate of doing a fake flipper Ice Palace in this case because we know it's a pendant. If the runners are in go mode, they're gonna fake flipper it to save time. They're not gonna wait for the actual flippers. And Ravis digs the cape.
Also, with the Titan's Mitts, Mirror, and Flute, all of our runners have access to Desert Palace.
There's the flippers, by the way, so Ice Palace is now in logic, except for the fact that we can't get beyond the first room. So we still need a fire source in order to get into the, or to get past the freezer into the interior of Ice Palace.
That's right, but they do know that there's a sword on a lake island, and that lets them use the Bombos tab.
And I just realized they have Bombos too, but yeah, they would still need a sword, so that is correct.
Although I think Dante and GFE are the only ones who saw what was on the island.
Is Ravis making the play in Swamp, or is he just checking? Yeah, he's making the play in Swamp.
That's what it looks like. It looks like he's dedicated to the whole play.
In a lot of races I've commentated lately, I've seen runners not want to do Swamp Palace. And namely is because they wanted to go mode Swamp Palace, try to do it without checking all the chests. But in this case, he's making the play on the item density in Swamp Palace. How you view this depends on where you are in a race and sometimes what kind of runner you are as well. He's hoping that there are some key items in the 6 items that he can find inside Swamp Palace. And having the hook shot, having the flippers, having the hammer, he can finish this.
Well, in a lot of ways, you kind of want to read the seed a little bit, and the seed is giving you all the ingredients to go here this early. I think it's the right move.
Yep, I think so too. By the way, that clue was that some bombs are in the Dark Village, so thanks, game.
Always appreciated the hints that are not hints.
Yeah, we've had races that were like an 0 for 15 or however many it was on the hints.
And just some more bombs for Ravis in the first chest. Well, the second chest, but the first one that can have an item.
So I haven't been watching Thieves Town. We're in the Sunshine Room with Chloe Prower right now. Blows it open and finds some bombs in the chest nearby. And Ravis is getting the first of 2 keys under pots in Swamp Palace. And this is the... he's going to then flood the chamber, cause some more water to come out, and, well, continue onwards.
Yeah, Thieves Town's another nice little item location that you can check real quick, especially if you have the hammer. You won't be leaving anything behind.
So the Maiden has now been picked up. The Maiden was guarding the Arrow of Destiny. So, too bad we won't be using that to kill Ganon today.
Rewarded with the Ice Rod in Swamp Palace. We know that's going to be needed.
Yeah, we know for sure, because we know that Turtle Rock is a pendant that is absolutely needed. And I think Ravis thought about the big key chest and must have realized he didn't have the big key, and thankfully didn't click it, because that would have brought up a prompt to kill some time.
Well, I'm sure that he's happy he's made this gambit, because that Ice Rod could be pretty much anywhere in the seed, and it's always good to find it on your way to finding other things.
This will actually go to his benefit as well. He still has to go to get all the medallions. He's going to probably be looking for medallions before he goes back to Death Mountain, so that can be bad for him, not knowing that 2 of the medallions are right up there. But once we know what opens Turtle Rock, we'll know Bombos and Ether were both in Paradox Cave. It's one of those. That's literally right on doorstep. There's Boots. So Ravis is also going to be going faster than our other runners, because I don't see them checking Swamp Palace very soon.
Yes, and Boots could be very important for this seed, because if you have Boots locked Desert Palace, that means that there's 2 required items hanging out in Swamp Palace.
For the benefit of our trackers as well, I do see 2 of our streamers are marked as having the Ether on Misery Mire. The other 2 are not, so hopefully we can get that corrected as well. Ether needed for Misery Mire today. GFE is now up in the Sunshine Room of Thieves Town. Dante is checking the ledge, finds a piece of heart, and calls the duck. And since I mentioned the trackers, quick thank you to 12th Doc and G Wizard, who are doing the tracking today as well.
Absolutely, they're doing a fantastic job.
And there's a bottle in the King's Tomb. I think that's our second bottle today.
I believe it. You're right.
It looks like... Now, where was the first bottle? I don't see the other 2 runners on the bottom having a bottle yet.
I do not remember exactly where Ravis found it, but I remember him turning it into Sick Kid.
Yeah, he did get the Sick Kid item, and that was a piece of his heart. And the Bonk Rocks is some more blueberries, and Checkerboard Cave is a full heart container. And Dante says, nope. And to answer the question in chat, boots were located in Swamp Palace, in the drain area, below the drain. And I see someone singing a very popular song in the chat. And Ravis giving us a confirmation that yes, the bow is down there, and he is not very happy about that, and is happy to chuck a couple bombs at that. So there was our rage moment, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you enjoyed. And Ravis pulls the wall in frustration while waiting for the duck. Not happy that Bo is at Lumberjack. Doesn't want to fight Aghanim. So the good news is that Eastern Palace and Palace of Darkness are both crystals. So unless we have a scenario where we have to do the 7 crystals to get some lingering item to finish a dungeon, which I don't think is going to happen at this point. But otherwise, unless we have one of those weird lingering scenarios, that bow will not be required.
Yeah, we're seeing that Desert Palace is not going to be boots locked. So as soon as one of our runners finds a fire source, they will be able to complete that dungeon.
And Ravis finally finds his first medallion, Quake. As soon as he goes to Paradise Cave, he'll find the other 2 medallions, and he will probably be a lot happier at that point.
I bet we're seeing some water checks after he goes to Ice Rod Cave. He has all those checks left to make, I believe, and none of our runners did any fake flippers.
So let's do a quick analysis on what we still need here. Desert Palace, typically we need the Book of Medora, but as you see, Dante has already gotten in through the back door. So the book is not needed to do this today. All you need was the flute, the Titan's Mitt, and the mirror. And you can get in the back door by going a different way. And Ravis is probably looking at those silver arrows and saying, "Curse you! Curse you!"
Yeah, a completely useless thing for him to find when he's probably not going to get the bow unless he's absolutely compelled to do it.
Yeah, he just found the bow on Lumberjack and now finds the silver arrows. It's like, why are you throwing this in my face? Come on. But looking back at what we still need, we are in Desert Palace, and all we need is a fire source. So that would be either a lantern or a fire rod to get to Mothiel. No, not Mothiel. That's Skull Woods. To get to Land Molas. Ice Palace, we have the flippers. We just need a fire source. So fire rod would be more preferred, or I think as a master sword to be able to use the Bombos medallion to get in there. And for Turtle Rock, we still need the Cane of Samaria. We have the pendant. Fire rod to get 2 chests in there, which could have a key. That's about it, I think.
Absolutely correct.
Now we know Cane of Samaria can't be locked behind Ganon's tower, so we're not going to be worrying about collecting the crystals. However, we may need to do a couple of crystal dungeons fully just to find that Cane of Samaria. You never know; it could be on. It could be on
Zora.
It could be on Zora right now. Yeah, there we go. We found it. So end that discussion right.
Thanks for speculating about it. You made it appear.
It tends to happen with me a lot, and people call me a witch because of it. It happens way too often that I speculate about something and it just shows up.
And Klo is going to get his flippers now. Maybe start making some water check. Maybe that'll compel him to go to Zora and pick up his Cane of Samaria.
So the trip to King Zora was not in vain today. There was no lesson. It was, here, I'll give you something you need. Enjoy.
Yeah, 60% of the time, it works every time going to Zora.
Yep, I'll take 60. So he is, at this point, he still has to find his Bombos and Ether up in Paradox Cave. I have a feeling he will not forget about that. But assuming that he does find that, all we need for Commentator's No Mode is a Fire Rod. And I'm saying Fire Rod because, yes, we could get away with the lamp and sword to use Bombos. But Fire Rod would definitely be enough to put us into No Mode.
Oh, yeah. A Fire Rod would be a much better find at this point. because it
It
would
would be.
open up so much.
So Ravis is going. Okay, this is a. He's using the backdoor method to get to Palace of Darkness. Normally, you wouldn't see this route unless you're going to Palace of Darkness because there's no hobo under the bridge in the Dark World. You have to use the. There's no bridge even in the Dark World. You just go. He's mirroring to the hobo. Okay, interesting.
Yeah, he opted to skip that on his way to Zora, and if he's going to Palace of Darkness now, it's a convenient time to route it in.
This is a good routing technique, actually. I like this routing technique. I think I've seen it once or twice before. It's not very often I've seen it used, but if you have the ability to check hobo on the way to Palace of Darkness, this is a good way to do it because there's the path up to Palace of Darkness right there, and you go north, you're in there. Well, actually, no, I take that back. You have to go to the right, and then you go north. So he's driving in with Pyramid. This actually isn't bad either.
Finds himself a mushroom. That's going to put him on a little trip.
That'll make a tasty soup later. Might need a few more, though. Now I'm hungry for cream and mushroom soup. Why did I do that to myself?
This run sponsored by Campbell's.
Hashtag not sponsored.
Yes, hashtag just joking.
So Chloe looks like he grabbed his ice rod as well. I see that just got lit up on the tracker here. He's in Swamp Palace right now.
Yes, indeed, and he's opting to skip left side of Swamp Palace.
Interesting, interesting. Ravis immediately checking that mushroom. Not going to contemplate the fake powder possibilities. Leave out a letter changes the meaning. So not going to contemplate the fake powder at all. Just going to go ahead and stay within logic because all he needs is that fire rod. Of course, he also needs medallions, but we know where those are.
And GFE on his way to be the last runner on the restream to go pick up his flippers. We should expect to see him do what everybody else has done and go right into Swamp Palace.
I actually wasn't sure I see all the runners going to Swamp Palace this early. They're looking at the item density in this case because they want to find those. They know they don't have to clear Swamp Palace necessarily, but because they can, and they need the items for the pendant dungeons, this seems to be the logic behind getting out of the way early.
Looks like Ravis might be heading into Tower of Hera. Give us a look at the items in there. If it's not... Oh, never mind. Ignore what I'm saying.
Yeah, he's not going to Tower of Hera. He might be the first runner to give us our look at Turtle Rock, actually. The item, the medallion. And then if he heads south and checks Paradise Cave, he'll find most likely the entry point, because he only has a 33% chance of having the correct medallion. He got Dead Rock, by the way. Found a way through. That's using your noggin. Ooh, that was a nice shot, that Dead Rock.
It's Quake.
And it's Quake. He has what he needs. Ooh, 33% win.
How convenient.
That worked out in his favor. And he opens that up, and I bet you he's going to go inside because he is the king of Samari. He can look for some items in there. He doesn't have the fire rod. But would that not be oh so convenient if that fire rod is in the first chest? A unique item can be forged. We've already seen this unique item. I forget what it was, though.
What did our little bearded friend have to offer? Was it one of the bottles?
No, the bottle is not unique.
That makes sense.
Oh, he had the cane. Cane of Samaria. No, it wasn't the cane of Samaria. Cane of Burna. Zora had the cane of Samaria. That's why I forgot what it was. It's the less likely to be important cane. So Ramus is now checking Paradise Cave, and now that he doesn't need the other medallions, he's going to find the other medallions. Of course, I say jokingly regarding not needing the other medallions because we don't know yet if that magical item we need, Fire Rod or whatever else we might end up using in place of it, could be located inside of Misery Mire. And if that Fire Rod happens to be located in Gan's Tower somewhere, they're going to be looking for the alternatives, which are the way to use bombos and possibly the lamp.
Well, we know the Fire Rod can't be in Ganon's Tower, but it could be past the entrance to Ice Palace.
Good point. It can't be in Ganon's Tower. That's right.
Yes, logic can expect you to get past the first room with the bombos and a sword, or with the Fire Rod in Ice Palace.
And Chloe is finally going to obtain a sword. So we have 2 runners marked as having a sword now. And Ravis has decided to enter Turtle Rock again. So he still needs the Fire Rod. Now, the Fire Rod could be located not in the 2 chests on the side, but on the right side here, but it could be located somewhere else in Turtle Rock. So as long as he finds keys, he can keep going. If he finds a Fire Rod, he can go back and check those chests if he needs to. And if he doesn't find it either, he's locked out. And if he takes another half-heart damage, he's dead. Like that.
Yeah, getting bullied around. Luckily, he's got the fairy.
So that was the key from there. So what does Chompy have? Will Chompy allow them to proceed, or will he have to leave? That is a riot shield. That will not open a door. He has to leave.
We should expect some hookshot cave checks from Ravis, while Chloe is the first to do the back of a escape.
I think he already checked Hookshot Cave because he opened the stairway already.
Oh, you are right.
So Chloe, as you said, doing the back of escape. I don't know if we've seen what's back here yet. There's a big 20 in the first chest. Dante looks like he's heading up to Catfish. Maybe stopping by the witch on the way with the mushroom. Nope, not stopping by the witch.
Honestly, I'd like to see one of our runners do a fake powder that reveals the Fire Rod.
That would be interesting. We're already getting an Ice Palace play, it looks like, from Ravis. Since that's a green pendant, we pretty much can conclude that's what he's doing.
He's got all the ingredients it takes to go and take that pendant home.
Well, Okay, I guess you can use a fighter sword. Yeah, he does have enough then. I thought you needed a master sword. The lamp is in Mimic Cave. An actual useful hint.
Oh, that's very interesting.
Now, the only problem is he needs a fire rod to get to Mimic Cave. So by the time we actually get to Mimic Cave, we're not going to need the lamp anymore. And the reason I can say we need the fire rod to get to Mimic Cave is because he got to Chompy's room. He didn't have a key, and there's 2 chests on the right side of the initial area of Turtle Rock that he could not get to because he needs the fire rod to do those. Therefore, those keys are fire rod locked. You need the fire rod to get through Turtle Rock today, and therefore the lamp will not be required. So he has to find the fire rod to take on Lamolus.
That's absolutely correct. But also, the runners can know that the logic requires the lamp for certain areas, so the fire rod cannot be beyond those areas. So it cannot be on Armos Knights, on the big key chest in Eastern Palace, and a number of other locations.
That's absolutely correct, and a very good thing to point out, because knowing that the logic will not expect you to do that to get the fire rod, you can skip those checks. You don't have to get them at all if that's the only thing you need.
Yep, that includes Misery Mire, or at least Vitreous,
Yeah,
not the
Vitreous,
rest
yeah.
of Misery Mire.
Vitreous. A heart container is in your house, Numpty. Thanks, game!
Hint tiles, everybody. Hint tiles. They're really here to help you.
I've never seen the in the house hint before. That's the first time I think I've seen that. It's actually hilarious that the game would think you never checked the first chest. That's hilarious. Hey, Catfish today coughs up the Master Sword. Now, the Master Sword is not explicitly required to beat the game on Pedestal mode. In fact, the sword itself is not even explicitly required unless a Pendant Dungeon requires it. So, any upgraded sword is nice to have at this point. Helps the combat, obviously. But nothing beyond the fighter sword, I believe, is actually needed today.
That's right. You won't even need it to go and fight Aga 1, because we know now that the bow is absolutely not required, because the only 2 spots you need the bow are also lamp locked.
Yeah, this game does not want you to go to Eastern Palace today, that's for sure. You can still check, obviously, the items. I think we saw one where we were doing that already, but the game will not expect you to go to the Dark Room at all, because there's no way to go through the Dark Room in Eastern Palace. And even for the vanilla big key chest, because for reasons you discussed earlier, the lamp is outside of logic. I'm going to interrupt myself for a moment. GFE has a fire rod. I don't know where he got it.
Wow, you're exactly. I was looking at Chloe picking up the Cane of Samaria.
Yeah, G-Wizard just poking me in chat saying, look, he has a fire rod, so we better point that out. And by the way, Ravis found his Master Sword, so we know where 3 of the sword upgrades are. Chad is asking the question I'm asking right now, where is that fire rod? We're going to get confirmation on that, but let you know as soon as we know, because we missed it.
Was it in Swamp Chalice's big chest?
It could have been, because I know he was in Swamp Palace. Yeah, it was the Swamp Palace big chest. There you go. Swamp Palace big chest coming to play. Wow.
So GFE was the only runner who didn't skip left side Swamp Palace, being hugely rewarded for that play.
I'm going to assume the big key was on the left side Swamp, because I don't remember that.
I believe it was. I believe it was all the way to the left side.
Oh my, what a play.
That puts GFE a Zora's Domain visit away from Gomo.
Yep. Just for those coming in late. Oh no, it was on Argus. I'm being told it was on Argus. But that doesn't make sense, because didn't another runner...
Dante...
No, if it was on... Dante doesn't have it then, because it wasn't on Argus.
Oh, the key was on Argus.
Oh, the big key was on the boss. Okay, got it. Never mind. So other runners just didn't go back and check the big chest then.
And Ravis never actually beat Argus.
Yeah, that's bad. That's bad for him right now. He doesn't know it, but that's bad for him. And yeah, just to double check the GFE's menu as well, he does have 2 crystals in his menu. So yeah, okay, Swamp House just got lit up. So we are caught up on that now. Perfect. Okay, now that our confusion moment is over, let's get back to what's going on. Everyone is in Ice Palace. Everyone in our restream is there right now.
Yeah, I promise. We are watching these streamers. It just gets a little complicated with 4 of them. Ravis jumping down into his Cold Stare fight.
He'll be the first runner to take on Cold Stare, maybe the first one to beat him. We'll see. So he's going to thaw the ice. In this case, he's using the wonderful Bombos Medallion to do so. Can also beat up some Fire Rod shots. Then he wants to get those eyes in the corner so he can try and beat him up like, like a playground bully. One of them gets away, but he's working on the 2 he can. And he's going to use his health refill because he kind of started to run low. He's working on the eye that was stronger of the 3 right now. So now they're about equal where they are. They should be dying about now. There's 1. There's the 2nd. Almost. And there's 2, and there's 3.
Yes, Master Sword Cold Stare is really no joke.
And all for Burrito. But at least he has one of the pendants that he requires to finish this seed. Now, if only he went back and got the Fire Rod. At this point, that Fire Rod in Swamp Palace would be his go mode. I should point out, by the way, we are in Commentator No mode. So he just has to go back to Ice Palace and get that Fire Rod. GFE has the Fire Rod. He still needs the King of Samaria. Dante looks like he also still needs the Fire Rod, and Chloe also still needs the Fire Rod. So I think that everyone has everything else, though. And we're down to that go mode item for all 4 runners.
Yeah, hopefully we'll see GFE mirror once he finishes Ice Palace and start doing his Zoro's Domain checks. And Sriracha Sauce has only got a big red rupee for us.
You expect him to give you something better, but very, very unusual when he actually reciprocates.
Does he know what Ravis went through to get that pendant? It was very difficult.
I don't think he cares.
He's just a jaded old man living alone in his hut.
Yeah. We're being asked to chat where Ice Rod was. Was that also in
Yes,
was that also in Swamp House? Yeah, that was in one of the drain chests, I believe.
It was in, I believe, is either the map or the compass, the one just south of the big room with the big chest in it.
Now, who was it that picked up the hint about Mimic Cave?
We've seen it from several runners at this point. The last person I saw was GFE. It was the first hint in Ice Palace, I believe.
Yes, it was. It was in Ice Palace. I'm sure they all got that hint because it was the first in Ice Palace. You're right. There's the powder, by the way. And somehow Ravis almost clipped onto the stairs. How'd that happen? Or onto the ledge, rather. But anyway, yeah, they should all have that hint. So if Ravis was paying attention to that hint and analyzing things as we've already analyzed them, what we can tell you at this point is that he will stop at the big chest and he will not continue beyond it. If he does, then we know he's wasting time because we already know that the lamp is locked by the fire rod, and as a result, there's no way, once he has the fire rod, that he would need the lamp. So the fire rod that he needs is not at the lamp at the vanilla big key chest. The flute is in Blind's hideout. Thanks, gang.
Yes, one of the 12 first checks that every runner ever makes. And he does mirror out. He does
He remembered
realize
the
that
hint.
he cannot be there.
So that's exactly what you want to see when you get that kind of logic to analyze. He analyzed that correctly. He's out of there.
And you got to admire the runner for making those decisions on the fly. We can sit here and commentate about it, but they actually have to play the game while making these decisions.
And trust me, it can be a lot harder when you're in the middle of the run to think about these things on the fly. As you do them, you're like, oh, wait, I didn't need to do this, but you've already done it. And one of our administrators, Adirondack Rick, pointing out, and I'll just repeat it here on the broadcast as well. Go mode, remember, is when all of the pendant dungeons can be beaten. You don't have to beat all of the crystal dungeons. You just have to be able to beat the 3 pendant dungeons. And then you're good to go.
Yeah, for anybody who was confused why we were in go mode without the bow, it's because we are in pedestal goal, not standard or open.
Correct. And we don't have to have the bow to do anything that we need to do. So that's why we can say it's go mode. So Chloe is the last of our runners to take on the Crackle Eyes. And got him in the corner nicely to start out, but as usual, they got away.
Ooh, takes an unfortunate death.
Hopefully has a fairy. Does not.
No, Chloe used up that fairy earlier, but gonna give it another shot. Meanwhile, GFE making some checks, dancing around Desert Palace, probably gonna go in and finish it. Perfectly capable of doing that right now. Has everything.
Oh, sorry. Didn't mean to cut you off. Ravens took a shot for Abimo's trying to get to the chest on the right side, the last chest in Cannonball Run there. Did make it through. Is checking Checkerboard Cave now. And GFE now backdooring Desert Palace himself. Now, unlike Ravis, who doesn't have the Fire Rod and therefore is not going to go to the back of Desert Palace yet, GFE will be able to go and complete this dungeon. He's checking the hint tile that Ravis already checked. Cache and a map in Mr. Mara. We don't care.
Yeah, I'm certain that GFE is just looking for the big key at this point. Well, no, probably make a couple other item checks. Still does need that cane.
Still needs the cane. Still needs the cane from Zora. He has the Fire Rod, but he doesn't have the cane. And the other runners all have the cane, but they don't have the Fire Rod. So GFE was the one who made that play in Swamp Palace, and the other three just have to go King Zora. Well, the one just has. I said that wrong. Yeah, GFE made the play in Swamp Palace that no one else made, but he still hasn't checked King Zora. Dante is going back into Swamp Palace. He must have concluded that there's something in here.
Well, we certainly know that's the right play. Ravis is searching for his Fire Rod in all the wrong places.
So he must have thought, oh, I didn't open the big chest. I better go open that. And ladies and gentlemen, at 58 minutes and 50 seconds, I believe we can say Dante is in go mode. And he actually is about to continue on and then realize, wait a minute, I don't need anything else. I'm out of here.
It's that muscle memory right there coming to get you.
It is. I almost didn't want to call because I saw him continuing. I'm like, wait a second, what does he still need?
Dante choosing to go into Turtle Rock before going into Desert Palace.
So Dante is now going to be making the obvious remaining play for him, which is going to Turtle Rock. And by the way, he did clear. He did not clear Desert Palace yet, obviously, because he just got that Fire Rod. So he's going to have to go back to Desert Palace before getting the pedestal. But the clear play now, go to Turtle Rock, get it out of the way because you're going to have to go through all the keys there anyway. And once you're done that, it's an easy clear of Desert Palace and you can go pull a pedestal. So he's getting the hard one out of the way. A unique item requires a hammer. Thanks, game.
That can mean so many things. It could also be talking about the unique items in Swamp Palace.
It could be. Which is the fire rod.
Yes, the best thing Ravens could find now is a hint that says the fire rod is in Swamp Palace.
Yeah, and Chad is agreeing with you on that as well. It very likely is the fire rod that's referring to. Or it could be something in Turtle Rock for all we know. We don't know. Actually, no, I take that back. Because it's not possible to not need the hammer Turtle Rock would not count for that hint. So, yeah, it very likely is Swamp Palace. Ravis getting bumped off by, I'll just call him Trolldorm at this point. Didn't want to give him a good pattern and going to be giving him a take 2 here. So, round 2, fight! Oh, man! He's getting massacred today by that worm.
And Moldorm takes it in the second round.
Round 3, begin! We have a winner!
And
Ooh.
Sonic is now Supersonic.
Yeah, we now have a brand new shirt. Or in this case, a brand new color for Sonic. And yes, that is red mail. That makes him turn yellow. And in chat we have the, here, I'll show you.
Looks like Chloe's going to go ahead and open up Misery Mire, go inside and take a look around.
Now we know there's nothing in here that he's going to want, so it's going to be a bit of a failed look around. Now because he has the hint, though, he should not be going to Vitreous. If he goes to Vitreous, he's forgotten the hint that talks about the lamp being a Mimic Cave, and that is enough right there to tell you, as I discussed earlier, that you will not be finding the fire rod on Vitreous because you need the fire rod to get to the lamp.
Dante picks up his mirrory shield, continues on.
Ravis running in place, waiting for the duck. Ravis, by the way, found the Book of Medora. I didn't catch the exact location of that, but he can now check the pedestal if you want to, confirm that Triforce is there.
I do forget what it says if you check it in pedestal mode. I think it just says victory.
Or something like a winner is you. I don't know. Something about being the winner.
It should be a little bit more trolly than that. Why are you checking me? Shouldn't you be somewhere else?
Why are you reading this? Well, the most fun is when the book is on the pedestal and you read it afterwards and it says, this is a paradox.
Looks like Dante is going to go for his lamp really quick, make short work of the dark room maze in Turtle Rock. Or not,
Yep.
Never mind.
No, he's not. Something is missing. The big key?
Oh, he must have skipped the chest.
I hope that there is not a small key in that big chest. Is that even possible? I think it is possible. It certainly is possible.
Must be vanilla big key location.
Yeah, if big key is on Laser Bridge, you have to come back to the big key for that last small key in the chest. That would be, ugh.
Well, big key has to be in either this chest here or the previous chest because there's a big key door blocking you from the rest of the dungeon.
Yeah, that's a good point. There it is. So it was a vanilla big key. You're absolutely right.
Yes, as chat points out, in inverted, that big key can be on laser bridge, but not in a standard open or
Yeah.
pedestal roll.
I didn't consider there's a big key door. There's more than one big key door. I didn't consider that for a moment. You're absolutely right. I know that Trinex has his own big key door, which means you would still require the big key going through the game normally, from backwards, I would say. But I forgot there was one on the way.
Well, Trinex sprang for the deluxe security package. He wanted multiple big key doors to try to keep adventurous heroes from cutting his heads off.
By the way, did you see that hint? A unique item is in Swamp Palace. We know.
Yeah, but they already got 2 unique items, so they're probably thinking, yeah, I got it already.
And I don't know why, but whenever I see that unique item hint for a dungeon, there tends to be more than one unique item. It's like the game wanted to make sure you were getting a unique item.
Well, Ganon went and scattered these items in random places, but he's also notoriously lazy, so he also scatters all the unique items in the same locations.
That explains the God Turtle, or the God Tower of Hera I saw in Key Sanity last time I called that. Now, interesting comment. Apparently, that hint was not for the Fire Rod. In Swamp Palace does not refer to big chest or left side, apparently, because they have their own hint. I'm trying to remember what else we saw in Swamp Palace.
Ice Rod and...
Oh yeah, Ice Rod.
And while boots didn't end up being required, they are certainly welcome in any seed.
Yeah.
GFE and Ravis are both making separate location checks, trying to find their go mode items, hoping to find them, but looking in kind of the wrong spots for them. Meanwhile, Dante, in his go mode, is about to go up against Trinex.
Chloe was just checking Sacramento as well. Obviously didn't find anything useful there. Chloe is going to Palace of Darkness. Now, we know he can't finish Palace of Darkness, but he is going to pay off everyone's favorite contortionist, Kiki the Monkey, who we thought we weren't going to see today. We're seeing him, and we're in Palace of Darkness.
Oh yeah, we are ending up seeing a lot more of this seed than we kind of expected going into it, but that is kind of how you play the randomizer sometimes.
For sure, for sure. We sometimes you see a lot of it, sometimes you just see a little bit.
Dante giving Trinex the business.
Yep, very good start here. Dodges the second bite, and is going to be going into the final phase. Very nicely done, and going to get some kind of item here. We don't need it, but we're going to get it anyway. And it turns out that item is a compass.
Well, it's pointing right towards Desert Palace.
And right after that, he can pull the pedestal and game over. I'm going to assume those are some celebration slashes.
Well, you got to feel pretty good about it at this point. Pretty much every check that he's gone to go make has been required.
So GFE is giving us a check that we have not seen yet, I think. We're going to get to see what the fairy has to... giant fairy has today at the Pyramid Ferry. He's finding the mushroom, and he decides to go pick that up because he still doesn't know the King of Samari is King Zora. He's literally wandering around a large portion of the world. I have a feeling he's going to go to Catfish next, and he's going to use the mirror to go to King Zora, and that will put him into go mode. So, heart container in a bottle. Ravis is back in Thieves Town. Actually hasn't cleared Thieves Town yet.
Yep, and Chloe is in that Eastern Palace.
Two runners looking for a fire rod. One runner is looking for the King of Samaria. The other one is about to finish. Just has to finish this fight and go pull Pedestal. Now we will note any finishers after, because we haven't been paying attention to the chat, we will note any finishers after Dante finishes. So we will not reveal any other runners in the race at this point until Dante does finish.
All right, let's go see what's on Pedestal. I'm just kidding. We all know it's victory. The best prize.
I'm pretty sure the blue boomerang's up there. We haven't seen it yet.
That's true. The best boomerang goes to people who finish.
But I don't think we're going to get to see that boomerang today, unfortunately, unless another runner comes across it and still looking for their go mode item, which could happen. We won't see. I don't think we're going to see that fourth sword upgrade either today. So Dante is about to claim victory here among our Restream racers. Off to see the pedestal. The wonderful pedestal of victory.
There's the red.
And not even going to worry about the red boomerang. Why would he? I wouldn't laugh if he picked it up just for memes. Or left a bomb on or something. Anyway, Dante is going to have 3 pendants emerge, and at this point, get your GGs in chat, as we have a Triforce pull, and that's the game. Dante is finished. I will get a time in a moment. I want to see what the Triforce says. The Triforce says, you get to drink from the fire hose. Dante finishes with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 12 minutes, and 16 seconds. His placing was 4th place. To cover the other runners that we have finished so far, 3rd place was in the name of DT with a time of 1:10:10. Mac and X finished in 2nd with a 1:09:29. Your race winner today was AK Drizzage, who finished in 1st place with a time of 1:08:37. Get your GGs in chat. For all 4.
Oh yes, GG, very smoothly done.
We will see if Dante wishes to join us as well.
It looks like he's already in the channel.
He is.
Hey
GG.
guys, how's it going?
GG, Dante.
Hey, yo, thanks.
So, well, let's start from the one of the first initial observations. What was your thought when you saw you had to finish Turtle Rock?
Wait, when I hadn't finished Turtle Rock?
When you realized you had to do Turtle Rock today.
Oh, when I saw Turtle Rock, I was like, oh, great. That means we got to hunt for an ice rock. And that kind of showed up quick. And I was like, well, that's good. Now to find the fire rod. And when I saw Ice Palace was green pendant, I was like, fire rod's going to be in Ice Palace. I don't know. I went through this weird thing in my mind where I doubted literally every decision I made. And as soon as I walked away from Swamp, I was like, I don't like this. I don't like it at all. And so I was like, okay, let's do these quick little checks, and then I'll do ice because ice will make me feel better, and it didn't. So I said, all right, well, we got 2 technically progression items with the boots, so I was like, let's do the boot stuff. And then I don't know, I had a moment of, do I go back and put my mind at ease at, I was like, I figured I already lost this by a lot just because pedestal seeds can be so volatile. So I was like, do I go up and try to make the gamble on TR, or do I go back to swamp, and my heart rate just kept literally going up. So I was like, I've got to go back to swamp. I can't deal with this.
And it turned out to be the right decision. We actually did have one runner on the restream who did find the fire rod before you. That was GFE, but he made one mistake that, well, I don't know if mistake is even the right word. He did do one thing that the other three runners. Let's rephrase that. Three runners did one thing he did not do, and that was check King's Aura for the King of Samaria.
Yeah, I was actually surprised to see that there, because I was so focused on Ice Palace. I was like, let's just kind of run up here, because I'm not going to do pod. Usually I kind of make it a priority to do pendant pod when it's like a Ganon seed or whatever, but I didn't really feel the need to do pod today, and I'm kind of glad I didn't now.
Yeah, it was absolutely a very good note to make that pod was not needed at all. And there was a key reason to that. I don't know if you checked Lumberjack Ledge. Did you check that?
No, actually, I didn't check Lumberjack Ledge.
Do you want to know what was on Lumberjack Ledge?
Is the bow there?
The bow.
Oh my gosh.
If this was a regular defeat Ganon seed, you were doing Aghanim.
Well, I got worried when I saw the cape, and then there was nothing on the cape ledge. I was thinking, man, is this going to be like an Aga seed? Because, you know, we got the boots right after, and that was kind of in the back of my mind. But when it was just Fire Rod, I was like, I don't think the Fire Rod's going to be there. But this literally was just sheer luck. I feel like I don't know why I torture myself with playing pedestal seeds, because they stress me out so bad.
Well, to be honest with you, it's actually one of the most fun. Like, I love Key Sanity because of the whole puzzle aspect with the keys. That's it for me in terms of commentating. That's my personal favorite mode. Just give me a Key Sanity, I'll be happy as a clam for a while. To call that thing, and I'll enjoy trying to analyze where things can be. But Pedestal is about just as good as you can get without mixing up the keys, because you only need to do 3 of the dungeons. You're going to be able to figure out which 3 dungeons you have to do, so it becomes a case of where are the things I need to finish these 3 dungeons? I don't need anything else. I just need things to finish those 3 dungeons. Where are those 3 things? And there could be a whole logical puzzle behind that as well. For example, we had the hint that Lamp was in Mimic Cave. We knew immediately, because you need the Fire Rod to get to Mimic Cave. After we got to Chompy, we couldn't get through. And Ravis was the first to do that, which is why we observed that. We knew that we would have to have the Fire Rod to get to Mimic Cave. We knew that it couldn't be locked by the lamp. Like, there's a whole puzzle related to that you know you can do, that you don't. There's some things you don't have to do, and figuring those out can give you a better time.
Yeah, like I've been, playing casually, like offline. I've been on both ends of the spectrum. I've played one of the, the community dailies that are generated on the website. That was a pedestal that, ended in 28 minutes. You get that occasionally, and then I've also been on the, the dreaded, I may have to go all the way to GT to get something just to complete a pendant dungeon, and those are not fun. And I'm really glad this was not one of those, because I have to be up early for work tomorrow, so yay.
And just a casual note here, I didn't want to interrupt you in the middle of that, but Ravis went ahead and satisfied all of you in chat with a lovely bird toss, so props to Ravis for the bird toss. So, and speaking of, he's in Misery Mire right now. He's still looking for his Fire Rod. Chloe is also still looking for the Fire Rod, going to... I think he's heading over to Swamp Palace now. He has not cleared Swamp Palace yet, it looks like. So it looks like he's finally making the play on that. Hopefully he gets to the big chest after clearing it. GFE, by the way, is in go mode now. So, yeah, I was going to ask you what your reaction to Bo on the Lumberjack Ledge was. You didn't even check that, so I couldn't ask you that question.
Yeah, I used to, when I first started running this game, I would always check that kind of as a safety, but now it's one of those things where unless I feel like Aghanim's going to come into play, or, you get the boots, I don't really see the point in my mind to check it. And I mean, that's bitten me at least once, but I can, count almost 100 more that it hasn't. So I think that's a gamble worth taking to save, 20 seconds.
It really comes down to runner preference. I personally see the value because I like to try and solve the puzzle at the same time. I see the value in checking myself, but like I said, it's just a preference on every individual. Someone will like to do it, some won't. So, Yeah, it just comes down to preference for each runner. Checking on GFE, he's fighting Trinex right now. Still has to do Desert Palace. So yeah, you had a nice casual Desert Palace to finish the seed with.
Yeah, and I don't know. My desert was sloppy. My TR was very sloppy because I was so focused on, oh hey, I'm in go mode, and I might have left that big key behind. I don't think anybody saw that though.
No, nobody noticed it. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, it went all according to plan.
What is Ravis? Ravis, please don't do that. By the way, if you have any questions, Boss Godfrey, go ahead.
No, I was just going to ask if there's anything that you think you could have cut out of your routing. What would you have done?
Well, see, I have a hard time thinking about this because I'll do it, you know, thinking of God routing something and then thinking of what could I honestly actually do. I don't know. The routing, you know, maybe I don't do Thieves Town, although, you know, there's too many items left in the back to, you know, think about, you know, abandoning it. That was kind of my thought process because I had the hammer and all. My execution overall tonight was just super sloppy, in my opinion. At least the way I feel like it, because, you know, I goofed and put the chest inside the portal, and I lost the big chest, and that was flippers, so that was like, I had to go back for it. I didn't know it was flippers, but I'm glad I went back for it, because I thought maybe I could abandon it, but literally, and then, you know, the whole paradox side, too, with no bombs, it was like, oh, I'm making all the smart plays today.
I need to interrupt you for a second here, because apparently we didn't have a Desert Palace marked on GFE's tracker. He just pulled the pedestal, so he clearly did finish Desert Palace, and he did finish the race. He has an estimated SRL time of 1:21:31. Yeah, I think according to SRL, for the pedestal, it's listed as casual pedestal, which is what this is. Apparently that's a 22-minute improvement on his best race time for races, which, so GG to him for that. Old Man Sunshine, by the way, was 5th place with a time of 1:21:06, just sniping GFE for 5th place.
And speaking of it, Dante, when you had your Paradox Cave check and you didn't have any bombs, did you realize that there was a bomb or shop right below you?
No. I keep forgetting that that's actually there. That's one of those things, I guess now I'll never forget that. I will definitely remember.
It didn't end up being a huge time loss for you, but it was something that we noted.
Yeah, there are so many things I could have just, like I said, just not losing my mind, you know, going into this. I don't know. So there's so many small and then even like large things I could have done just to, you know, shaved a few seconds off, maybe a minute.
And by the way, GFE is now with us in the channels. GG GFE.
Hey guys, thank you.
So your thoughts on the siege today?
Well, the pendant T-Rock. That earlier swamp dive play for me, and I almost mirrored and went to Zora right after Ice Palace. I could have gotten first in this seed.
Yeah, we noticed that you missed Zora for quite some time. You were the first runner to find the fire rod among our restream runners. I don't know about the rest of the race, but among our restream runners, you were the first one. And yeah, not checking Zora for a long time really did come up to bite you in this one, so to speak, because you don't expect Zora to have something like that.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't have the money early, and then it was just out of the way. I was hoping that fire rod location would definitely keep me in it. The swamp being a 5-6, it gave it some people.
By the way, quick comment: 1 hour, 24 minutes, and 37 seconds. Clove Power is in go mode, and Ravis is on his way to fight Argus right now. And if he goes to check the big chest afterwards, he will also be in go mode. So, did you? Now I'm trying to remember which runners checked it because Dante did not check it, and I'm not. I think I saw 2 runners in total check it. Did you check the lumberjack?
Yeah, I was scared of toward the end was if there had been an item on Armos.
Mm-hmm.
You, with all those lamp and mimic cave hints, that it couldn't be Sar.
Well, I can say this because we knew the lamp was in Mimic Cave, and this literally
It
told
couldn't
us-
have been Armos either. Yeah.
It couldn't have been Armos. Yeah, it wouldn't have been Armos. It wouldn't have been Palace of Darkness. So as soon as we saw that hint, the bow was out of play completely, and we knew that Agnum therefore was out of play too. So
Yeah.
that worked out in everyone's favor. We didn't have to see Agnum after all today.
Yeah, it was also a relief to find the ice rod because that meant that table. That's the only reason I even finished Thieves Town was on that slight chance.
Yeah, hunting down an ice rod that's on the loose can always be very difficult. But
Mhm.
finding it and boots, and then going back in for the big chest, that was a pretty good move for Swamp Palace.
Yeah, I mean, Swamp feels like a big time sink in this mode, but it definitely paid off huge this time around. Skipped left side.
Yeah, in this mode, I actually like the idea of doing the Swamp Palace play only because there's a lot of items in there. Ravis at 1 hour, 26 minutes, 39 seconds is in go mode and is, let's just say, raging on the chest with the item he just got out of that chest, ironically enough. But, yeah, it was a great play because I like the idea of Swamp Palace when you're going through a pedestal seed because you know you only have 3 dungeons to do and you only need a small subset of items. So checking the majority of the chests for the items makes sense because you're only going to go in to check items. You're not going to go in to clear it most of the time in this kind of mode. Whereas in normal mode, you most likely want to try and do the dungeon in go mode, and some runners will skip it until they're in go mode if they possibly can. In this case, it was a great play to check it for items.
Yeah. Also, out of curiosity, was I the only restream runner with Kane for go mode?
Yes.
Or odd was everybody else?
Yes.
Yes, everybody else made a Zora check relatively early.
Yeah, that's the way it goes with Zora. Most of the time he trolls you, and this time he trolled me in a different way.
Yeah, one way or another, you get let's just say screwed with by him. However you handle it, you get screwed with by him once in a while. I should note that Chloe just stole the key and walked away. He's gonna regret that.
Yeah, he's gonna figure it out pretty quick though. He can't go much further than this room here.
Yeah, if you don't have the big key by the time you get to that chest, there you go. Back you go.
And I believe it was a small key inside the big chest, so hopefully he doesn't skip that.
Actually, I completely forgot that. We'll see when we get back there.
So GFE, is there any big routing changes you'd make to your decision-making tree, given the information you have now?
Well, I mean, obviously early Zora. When I went Dark World the first time, I was on the mountain, but when I went for Hype Cave, I was between going left, Stumpy, and Kakariko, or going to check the pyramid, and then up to Catfish, and never mind, I didn't have mirror at that time. so it wouldn't have mattered. I also made a few other decent sized gambles to Misery Mire. I knew it was only one item. Kane was there, it would be huge. I went up to Hera for the 5-6 crystal. But, I mean, that's the kind of gambles you make in this game, so sometimes it pays off. Not today.
Yeah, sometimes it can just be all about who makes the right play at the right time. And if you're the only runner who does that play at that time, you have stand a good chance of winning because you have what you need. So sometimes that's rando for you.
Yeah, but I mean, in a daily, like that pretty much in a day. So I'm happy with the way it turned out.
Yep, still a good finish. 6th place is not bad for a daily when there were some 20 runners running it. So that's still a pretty respectable finish, pretty good finish. And nothing to be ashamed of in that at all. So it was a really good run. We, like Dante came 4th and you came 6th. We still have 2 runners going here. We do have a couple more finishes I want to note here as well. I see Rick posting some of the finishes in chat here. Let me scroll up for a second here. Salty Fry was our 7th place finisher. I'm just trying to get the time. 1:23:59 in 7th place. And 8th place was Speez, S-P-E-E-Z, with a time of 1:28:25. GG to them. I can also, actually, hold on a second. I can now confirm Franklin finished in 9th place with a time of 1:31:13. GG to him as well.
Yeah, GG to all our runners.
Oh, I'm gonna go silent here while you guys finish out the restream, but let me give y'all a big thanks for the commentary. Thanks to the trackers and the restream crew always. So, thank you guys, and we'll catch you later.
No problem. Thank you for racing GFE and GG. Make sure to follow GFE. The link is in chat. Dante also is having some internet problems, so he dropped as well. But GG to Dante. And again, follow him as well. The links for all 4 runners are in chat right now. And you can follow these guys. And I'm sure they all appreciate your support. Lowprower just finishing Trinex right now. Now I haven't seen his menu. I've been wanting to double check to see if he did finish Desert. We have him marked as not finishing Desert, and I can confirm now that he has not finished Desert. So
Yes.
that is correct.
Yeah, he immediately after getting the fire rod headed up the mountain. Ravis, however, did finish Desert and is in his last dungeon.
That is correct. I did see him doing Desert. So Ravis is going through the myriad of Canis and Mario sections, scaring the skeleton. Bye, skeleton. Chloe is off to see the worms. Actually, I just realized both Leomolus and Moldorm are worms. Why did I just realize that right now? Ravis is leaving messages in the chat. I don't know if he should be doing this, but he left a comment saying Trash Seed is almost over, finally. So I think we know his opinion of this particular seed today.
Yeah, normally you're hunting down the ice rod, not the fire rod.
Yeah, and by the way, I don't know if you noticed the bunny sprite for Sonic. For those who are not familiar with it, you just saw a glimpse of a Super Mario World Mario as the bunny sprite for Sonic.
Yeah, you gotta love all these unique little sprites that you can have in here. There are a lot of them. You can play a different one every day, and I'll play for 2 or 3 months without seeing the same ones.
Or if you have your favorite, you can just, or even a few favorites, you can just play those few favorites. I know personally, back at a time when the site allowed us to get bundles of seeds, I would pick up a few seeds in each bundle with different sprites, and then I just randomly pick among those one seed, and whichever sprite I got was the sprite I got. So I kind of randomized my sprite at the same time. Just a little extra game I did.
Yeah, I'm pretty consistent with my one sprite that I've gotten used to lining up jumps and such with. And looks like Chloe's about to finish up here, pull the pedestal, and finish as third on our restreamers. We'll see what place it takes officially on the IRC.
Well, we do have a top 10 location. I'm not going to comment if there's any other finishers since Franklin finishing 9th. We'll hold that in suspense for a moment. There is a top 10 location still there. So we're going to see when Chloe pulls the pedestal, we can confirm that. So Chloe is heading towards the pedestal right now. And as the pedestal is pulled, the pedants float in the air. The pedestal shines brightly. And Chloe Prower has finished in 11th place with a time of 1:36.02. 1 up 40 was the 10th place finisher at 1:34.49 to round out our top 10. So get your GGs in chat for everyone so far.
Also, we don't recommend that you drink from a fire hose.
No.
Just don't do that.
No. Not unless it's a drizzle, but even then I still wouldn't recommend it.
You want to keep it at a low pressure, low gallons. It's important.
And we'll see if Chloe wants to join us here. Now we do have a couple forfeits. I'm not going to name who the forfeits are, just out of the sake of embarrassing anyone here, but we did have at least a couple runners here, at least I think more than that even, who just decided this seed wasn't worth finishing, didn't like where it was going, and decided it wasn't worth the time.
You know, I could see that being very frustrating, missing certain plays, misplaying certain other things. It could be definitely one that I might forfeit out of myself.
So Ravis is now, takes a hit from the ice head, but gets the fire rod shot on it. Has to do it again. And the head's down. So the turtle is wagging its tail a little bit, but it's going to stop wagging now. We're going to come out and try to murder Ravis. Last chance on our restream to stop a runner from getting the pedestal today. Last pennant to be collected. And he's going to collect it. And he burns out the fire rod because, well, he can. So, that would be why.
Gonna burn this one down.
Burn, baby, burn. Blue pendant in hand. Let's go pull Triforce. I noticed, by the way, in the last few minutes, Dante's named as well. Help! It's Ped! And yeah, I'm reading what Old Man Sunshine is saying in the chat. He was our 5th place finisher again. He's saying Ravis might be a bit upset, and I'm going to concur with that. He raged on the fire rod chest with the fire rod, which pretty much tells you his opinion of this seed.
Well, you have to think Ravis was in a very good position until it turned out that the fire rod was a skip check for him.
I think Ravis also didn't check the medallions right away either. Turned out he didn't need them, but he didn't check them right away either. So, there was also that he missed some of Death Mountain at one point as well. Fortunately, that part didn't cost him. But there's your opinion. Either these are fireworks or these are blow up the pedestal. I don't care anymore. Oh, he's using the ether. Ether is out. What is he gonna do now? Nah, just pull the pedestal. Call it a day.
Yeah, the pedestal rave party is over.
And with that, Ravis 10 has finished in 12th place with a time of 1:39:30. Get your GGs in chat, and maybe some sympathies as well.
Yes, and it looks like Chloe Prower might be in the chat with us.
Yep. GG.
Hello, GG's. Oh my gosh.
So, how do you feel about the seed?
I feel like, I swear to God, I've done Hammer Argus before, and I just couldn't, and it cost me 40 minutes. Because I would have gone back and collected everything, but I'm just like, no, I'm gonna go away. I got Boots and Ice Rod from here. Maybe there's nothing in here. And then the game was very adamant to tell us that Lamp is in Mimic Cave, which gave us it twice. And then Bo was on Lumberjack, so it's like, okay, well, Bo's locked, Lamp is locked, all behind the Fire Rod.
That was the most glorious hint we could have had for that seed, because it actually told us all four of you got it very shortly apart as well. By the way, Ravis is here at GG. We'll ask you a question in a second here, but I want to explain this. We were talking several times about when, as soon as we found that hint, we figured out as well that the lamp is locked behind the fire rod. It took Ravis, who was the first to go to Turtle Rock, getting to Choppy's room and not being able to go through because he couldn't get to the side where the key was without the fire rod. So we knew that it was locked by the fire rod. We knew you couldn't get to the lamp without the fire rod. We knew Eastern Palace and Palace Darkness were off the table. We knew the
Hello?
Oh, your mic is working now.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
Ravis.
it's back because Discord had problems.
Ah.
Should be for everyone, yeah. All
So
right.
yeah, I'm gonna assume from your reactions to the bow being on Lumberjack Ledge, which ended up not being required, and from the way that you raged on the fire rod chest with the fire rod, I'm gonna assume you didn't like that seed.
Well, I guess I'm one of, I don't know how many people who thought, oh, I could win this race because I got 2 important items out of Swamp early. And I just said before the audio was away, I heard Chloe talking about the seed for 6 seconds, and I couldn't agree more with all he said. Exactly the same with the Mimic Cave thing, and knowing, alright, that Fire Rod is blocking everything as it feels like, and then, yeah, that happened. So it should have been, for me, like a 40-50 minute seed. I routed really weird. I forgot things like Paradox Cave for some reason.
We noticed you going back for the all those medallions.
Yeah, and when I saw the bomb was in there, I was like, all right. Bomb was
What?
locking fire out. Name a better love story. Come on, and there was nothing.
At what point, what made you turn around and go back to Swamp Palace? What was the
Well, I had only one item in Mire, and when I had only the choice between Mire and Swamp, because Firelocked had one item and it couldn't be on Vidi, then I routed Mire pretty weirdly, and I was like, alright, I don't give a freak if the item is on Vidi, so I'm just gonna take the bullet and go back to Swamp. Then I went left side, found one item, and I was like, alright, there's one more item in here, and there's one more item in Mire, so yeah, nice thing, but I figured you wouldn't make a 109 first place if you didn't perfectly route it, or, I felt super far ahead after doing Swamp super early. as most of the runners probably did. And
I can actually
then-
tell.
yeah.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
It's fine. You can go.
Yeah, I was gonna say GFE was the only runner who actually found the fire rod before the King of Samaria. He actually found the fire rod, made the swamp play really early, before you did, before you or anyone else on the restream did. And he found. I think he actually did check the fire rod right away too. We didn't even catch it that he did it. He just went and opened the big chest after he beat Argus, and we were talking about what someone else was doing, and all of a sudden in chat we see, GFE has the fire rod. Wait, what? So we had to confirm that yes, it was in the big chest, and we didn't even catch it ourselves. We weren't expecting to be in the big chest, so that caught us off guard too, the location. But interesting how the way I'd read that.
I would have. Even getting the fire rod, I can't imagine my routing would have changed. I need to rewatch it, but I'm pretty sure I still would have finished looping around doing my flippers checks, and I think I would have gotten Samaria and been in go mode had I gotten that fire rod when I did. And I kind of want to check what time I would have gotten it instead of if I hadn't died to Argus. That's frustrating, but it happens.
I mean, so after finding the ice rod, I found the flippers, and I was like, all right, that's not the item I wanted to see, but do that swamp dip, maybe get an ice rod. I find the ice rod, and I was like, gonna go out. All right, maybe you can get one more item out of here. Then I found the boots, and after the waterfall chest, I knew there are 2 items in here, including the big key, which might not be, or probably is not in his big chest. So no, I'm gonna nope out. This is a big time save. If it's not here, I have everything open basically. I wasn't in any dungeon before, and then it was still there. So it was a big call of everybody doing Argus, I feel like. If you have the items early on.
Scott, for you, you had a question you were asking the other runners. Did you want to ask that question here as well?
No, it was already covered. You covered it.
Oh. Well, in that case, actually, let me just check if the restreams have caught up on the stats yet. We have Raven's stats coming up, so we should probably get ready to close this up very soon. I am looking at the collection rates. I see Dante pulled out a 110 out of that. We have a 133 and a 146. We'll see what Raven's is in a moment here. But any final thoughts from either of the two of you on this seed overall today?
I'll get him next time.
Just the casual burn the seed.
Burn the seed. Noted. So if you want to follow either of the runners, we're going to have the links in chat for you again here. So follow them and follow our other 2 runners, GFE and Dante as well. And just to clarify for those still with us, if you're following and watching the VOD on YouTube or here on Twitch after the chat goes away, the Twitch link for Ravis is Ravis10. So that's how you can follow him. And you can also follow our trackers, who were G-Wizard and I believe it was 12th Doc. Yeah, G-Wizard and 12th Doc were doing our tracking today. So give them a follow as well. And also Nick Godfrey, or Boss Godfrey, as he shows on the restream here. He's was my co-comp. Give him a follow as well.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Cyclone. It's always good. Always a lot of good, clean fun on these daily races.
Indeed it is. And let's just cover some upcoming schedule notes here for those who want to find something else to watch. As for today, I believe that pretty much wraps up. Actually, no, there is one more race coming up today. It's actually, I believe Speed Guinea 1 just came live. The main Speed Guinea challenge just went live to get ready for this race. There's a Zelda 1, Metroid 1 randomizer coming on there. So we're either going to join that or we're going to join the Super Metroid Link to the Past race going on Speed Gaming 2 in progress. And that is a semi-final race over there right now between Aussie 101 and Hitaka. That is game 2 of their race, which Aussie is up 1-0 in that series. So those are the 2 races that are going on right now. If you come back tomorrow, you're going to find possibly game 3 of that series I just mentioned, if needed, 8:30 tomorrow night. That will finish that series, if it's required. We also have some Super Mario World going on tomorrow afternoon at about noon. We have some Portal 2 races going on, 9 o'clock and 2 o'clock tomorrow. They're all assigned for the main channel right now. Other races, there's another Portal 2. There's more Link to the Past daily races like this going on at 2 o'clock and 9 o'clock every day, as always. Open and standard mode tomorrow. There's another tournament race going on in the Fall Randomizer Tournament. That's between Kyong and Willard J. Bradley, going on at 8:30 tomorrow evening. And there's a Final Fantasy IV Rando going on at 7 o'clock. So for more information on that and any other races on the Speed Gaming schedule as they get added, go to speedgaming.org/schedule, and you can get all the lowdown on that. You can also type !schedule in the Twitch chat anytime you get that information. So with that said, I'll be giving you the final word in a moment here, Boss Godfrey. I'm Cyclone, also Cyclone GU on Twitch. And I just want to say, wish all of you a wonderful evening, and thank you all for watching. We couldn't do this without you as well, chat. You are just as important as anyone else here behind the scenes. So good night. May not all your seeds be pet seeds, unless you're pulling a Triforce. Boss Godfrey, you get the final word.
Yep, I'm Boss Godfrey, and everybody have a good night. Be safe out there. We'll see you next time.